Hi everyone, it's Jaya here from Epicentre Healing. Thank you for all of your requests and your lovely messages. And I'm doing this video because I've actually had this question in similar forms more than once. So, as part of serving the community, me and my favourite tree. I know you've seen this tree in my other videos. There's many reasons for that, and I can come on to that later. But this video is about what makes certain people successful and what makes others unsuccessful. So, as you know, if you visited our website, www.epicentrehealing.com, or if you've listened to our other videos, I've had a business network for a very long time by being in my family business. Before that, I also worked a lot. I studied a lot. I've always studied a lot. And that was just the course in life that I took. I often met many spiritual teachers and practitioners, and I learned from them along the way, as well as many people that I just encountered. We are living in this divine universe where everything that we encounter, good or bad, is serving a purpose. Either it's teaching us about ourselves, or teaching us about life, or teaching us about another person. But either way, from a humanitarian and top-down perspective, so looking from a higher power down, everything that's happening is happening for a reason, and we are not completely in control. Even though there are many manifestation videos out there that talk about being a creator and all these things, the truth is we don't always get what we want, and what we want is not always what we need. And all of the laws and spiritual laws and actually energy laws around manifestation are quite difficult to attain. The reason for that is because your feeling has to match your thoughts. The thoughts have to match the sincerity of your heart, and your heart has to match the higher power, the godly vibration, in order to manifest the truest and the best vibration. So, going back to our original question and how all of this applies, people who are successful never stop being a student. That is the number one point. You'll notice this now when you start to listen to other people, either on YouTube or people that you meet. You will notice that they were always learning. And the beauty in this is they have kept their mind open and flexible to their highest potential and their highest possibility. You have to bear with me in my pauses. As you all know already, I do not pre-write anything. I channel everything, and that's why sometimes there's a pause. But yeah, so because they've kept their mind open, they're leaving their channels open for something better, something better, something better. And equally, they have the evergreen discipline embedded in them. And it doesn't really matter whether they have studied or not studied, or, had a high-paying job or a non-high-paying job. It really is all to do about their discipline, their openness, and their willingness to learn. And in order to learn, that person has to have a lot of respect inside of them. So what I mean by that is not necessarily respect for themselves, but respect for humanity. So in order to learn from somebody, you must respect them. So that's a very strong spiritual quality that's linked to the solar plexus chakra. This video is probably going to go deep into many spiritual concepts today, so I hope you are ready. So they have an attribute cultivated very deep inside of them of respect for humanity. And having that attribute enables them to respect others while they're talking. Now, that being said, that does not mean that we learn from everybody or we must listen to everybody, because as you all know, human beings are all very different. Some people have very positive soul qualities. Some people have very negative soul qualities. Some people will never harm anybody. Others will harm, whether it is intentional or whether it is not intentional. So who we listen to and who we learn from is very important. And having respect for that person will enable us to learn. This then leads to a more open mind, a more learned mind, and a mind that understands growth, soul growth, and then that will link on to higher consciousness, higher potential. Then that human being becomes better, not just for themselves, but for others. And then all of the 3D material stuff will also deliver. Meaning, if a person becomes a better human for themselves and for others around them, they will earn more money. Wealth and financial abundance is a blessing from the gods and the universe. And it's received in abundance to people who focus on spiritual growth. And that's not just spiritual growth or being in a I say tree hugging, but I know that I've hugged trees before. Or sitting in a mountain. I know that I've been around mountains before. But what I mean is spiritual growth doesn't mean necessarily running into the wild. Spiritual growth means cultivating yourself and cultivating others around you. Respecting yourself and respecting others around you. And having these qualities, you'll see and you'll notice when you watch on TV, on interviews, some of the most successful people in the world, the amount of respect that will literally ooze from them. You'll be able to see it now. They respect themselves, they respect humanity, they respect the growth process. So that's one really important thing that we've really gone through. There's another aspect of people who are very successful, and that is that they have great discernment. I laugh because I use this word a lot in my teachings when I'm teaching classes or doing energy healing sessions. But having great discernment is really, really important. And again, that's something that we need to cultivate. So when I say discernment, what I'm talking about is judgment. We are always training ourselves and we are always training our judgment. That's myself and that's everyone around me. And that is the evolutionary process. This is what makes human beings better and better and better, is because they are constantly training themselves. And everybody has this potential. Every single human being on this planet has the potential to be successful, but they have to start to train these qualities into themselves, like we've been talking about. Even in the Bible and other religious texts, they talk a lot about positive qualities and soul qualities which make humanity rise, as opposed to negative qualities. And that's the way it works. People who are more successful, you will notice that they have a lot of greatness in them. And a lot of people that go to the top in their careers, and I'm not talking about people who are in power or have a lot of money. I'm talking that people who get to the top of their careers through hard work, diligence, learning, executing, respecting humanity. They achieve their higher heights by cultivating themselves. So that's really important to notice about how we treat ourselves and others gets us to the top and gets us into a successful position. From a greater perspective, looking from the higher power down, this planet and the humans on here are constantly trying to evolve. Constantly. So it's part of the evolutionary process. Those people who are more successful in all areas will then lead to having more successful children and more successful lives. And those that are unsuccessful in their endeavors and they don't try and they completely give up, it's part of the evolutionary process to wipe them out. So you'll know from my other video, I mentioned about the shift. I mentioned about the shift in stopping ancestral disease. And a prophet a long time ago talked about this shift. And it was in the 80s, 1980s. And the shift was all about everyone who is successful and rising in their consciousness on the planet will survive. And everybody who is not and going on a downturn, unfortunately, they will be wiped out. Because it's like in biology, it's a survival of the fittest. You have to cultivate yourself and train discipline and train respect. And you have to train yourself constantly. This life is one big training ground. So it's the only way. So how does any human being become successful? They must train themselves. They can listen to this video. Why not? And start to know how great you really are. There really is a lot of greatness in people, and there is the God aspect in people. We need to tap into our greatness and we need to train our greatness. I just want to touch quickly on physical form, so on the physical body. I tend not to talk much about healthy eating, only because there is so much information available on YouTube. But there is a very strong importance in not just the way we eat, but also the quality of our sleep and our general lifestyle. This all contributes to whether we are successful or we are not successful. Because if we haven't got our basics right, such as eating when we are hungry or eating in the morning, in a lot of our texts, so it's in religious texts. I've read more than one religious book, and it's also in our spiritual literature about eating in the morning like a king. The reason for this is because in Ayurveda, which is an ancient Indian practice of healing, when you eat in line with the sun, you have a stronger digestion. So eating in line with the sun, meaning in the morning or in the afternoon, enables us to have a stronger physical body. It's as simple as that, really. That's why scientists, doctors talk about not eating at night, because you can't digest. Also in the spiritual holistic literature, they talk about if you eat at night, when the moon's up, the food just gets stuck there because you're not in alignment with the universe's digestive power. So there are some exceptions to this. Some people have trained themselves to eat at certain times. But what my whole point is, if you take care of your physical body, you are more likely to be successful. Your physical body holds your power on this physical 3D plane on this planet. And your physical body carries your soul. Your physical body is like this beautiful divine vessel carrying your soul, which is connected to the higher powers and everything that's above you. So keeping this physical body well will attract more wellness, and it will attract more success. Your physical body not only intertwines with the whole universe and your soul, but it also intertwines with the God power. And that God power can manifest into your life. You just have to be tapped in. So I hope these tips have helped you today on how you can become more successful here on the 3D plane. You don't just need to be successful here. You can be successful spiritually. There are many people that don't chase financial wealth. There are many people that go towards soul growth. I'm one of them, about cultivating soul light. And there are many people that are focused on a career or something. You know, the way to become successful really is about training ourselves properly training ourselves with light, respect, respecting ourselves and respecting humanity, learning, absorbing and executing. We also must execute. So in everything we've learned, everything we've cultivated and trained in ourselves must be executed. I think it'd be so beneficial, particularly for people who are looking to become more successful in their lives, in their souls, from a higher power perspective and from their career, to go back over this video and write down whatever resonates with you, whatever comes towards you, whatever words or sentences, and they become your own personal notes. Everybody takes whatever they want to take from any video or any teaching or anybody's words, and only certain words apply to certain people. So I feel that that would be a really positive way to get the most out of this video for yourself, so that you become the most successful version of yourself. Thank you, and lots of love. We will see you on our next video. Thank you. Take care.